is very important to people, and you're finding more and more places are not. They're people are just leaving. They're not putting up with it anymore. They're not going back to those jobs. They're not accepting them. It's really wild. Something's going to have to give. Either these billionaires are going to have to start paying people more, or giving them better benefits, or something. Because I don't know. It's like we were just at Cracker Barrel
Hmm.
just day before yesterday, and the lady was like, "Yeah, I've worked here since October, and every single person that walks through the door for with an application gets hired." They said because we can't keep them enough. People just quit. They're like, she's like, I'm on day 14. I haven't had a day off in 14 days just because they don't have enough staff.
No, I totally understand. Like I said, my second job, I had to take like a week off, or well, more than a week off, because I fucked up and didn't renew my license in time.
Right.
So I had to wait till it arrived, and nah, they're fucking hurting. I mean, and you can see it as I came back. I mean, I think they were mad at me, like, you stupid motherfucker, like, how could you do
Well,
this, But no, people quitting, people they're tired.
right. And the one thing that, people are I've been saying is when COVID hit, it shut everything down in a lot of places. And people got the one thing that they had never got before. They got time.
Yeah,
And I think that opened a lot of eyes. I think it opened a lot of minds. I think it really showed people what's really important.
yeah, especially if anybody lost family, friends, or to this shit. I mean, it puts everything in perspective. I'm like, we're fucking
Yeah.
working our lives away, and don't get me wrong, I'm a greedy bastard. I'm a big advocate for work, but yeah, I guess family. How can I say this? I mean, family's important. It's
Right.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. This is a wild time to be living in right now.
yep. Dude,
Um,
I mean, it's like it's how can we talk about this shit without sounding gloomy? I mean, it's like do you see a bright light at the end of the tunnel? And
well,
I don't want it to be a train either.
I do. I think, in a sense, I do see a bright light at the end of the tunnel, and I think what's, at least for me, this is how I feel, and I tend to try to see things through rose-colored glasses, I guess, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I think through every hard time, like the hard times that we're going through, is leading us. Well, like it's almost like we have to go through this in order for us to come together as a people the for a better thing. Like I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't think
I get you. Okay, we have to
for
go
like
through this hard shit in order to appreciate the good stuff, the better to
well,
learn
not just
or learn
appreciate
to
it, but like,
appreciate.
like and we have to suffer before we all get like we before we all realize like, hey, this shit's got to stop. This division has to stop. All of this shit's got to stop. We're better than this. And and sometimes for a lot of people, they have to get knocked on the head pretty hard before they open their eyes. Mm-hmm. And I think what we're doing right now is I think a lot of people are getting knocked on the head, and I think a lot of eyes are starting to open up. And and you see, like right now, the biggest media uh, consumption right now is Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah,
And
that is
think
some wow.
like think about that. And we're not even talking about a little. We're talking like Joe Rogan has on average 11 million people tuning into his episodes.
Yeah,
Closest one in the news media is Tucker Carlson with 3 million.
Hmm.
And everyone else is right around that, is within a million of that. It's between a 1.5 and 3, but they're all right in that area. And then here's Joe Rogan with 11 million.
Hmm.
And I think it really has to do with he's showing alternative sides. He's showing a different way to look at things. He's giving everybody an opportunity to talk.
Hmm.
I I kind of feel like that's kind of we needed a lot of us needed to get knocked on the head pretty hard before our eyes to get open to seeing other things in the world and maybe other possibilities.
Yeah, I haven't heard. Like I said, I tuned out a while back with. I don't know. Can't remember exactly what it was that just. I was like, no, fuck this shit. I can't listen to this. Can't remember what it was, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, so
Joe Rogan. I don't know. I mean, he does have some fucking cool episodes. Talks about some cool shit. Like experimental medicine. I think one of the last episodes I remember he had Mel Gibson there, and they were talking about shit that was happening in Panama with medicine that they don't allow here in the States.
research, stem cell injections and whatnot.
Yeah, so you remember, motherfucker. So like I said,
Yeah,
he talks about a lot of shit that for some reason is taboo here. Like other countries. I mean, we claim to be number one and all this shit, but all these other nations are doing things that we don't allow here.
right.
Like they don't want you to get healthy. They don't want you to. They want to keep you paying. I don't know, whatever you pay a month for your prescriptions. I don't know.
Right.
It is what it is. I don't know. Right? And that's like fucking stepping on landmines right there. Because that I think what happened is Joe Rogan for a while there started getting a little too political for my taste.
Yeah, he the last couple of episodes he's really tuned in hard into this. Like he had one with Dr. Malone that literally broke the internet,
Hmm.
where uh, the Dr. Malone is one of the guys who helped discover the original mRNA vaccine,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what they used to make the vaccination for COVID.
Yeah.
And,
Is he the
uh,
guy that's claiming that he came up with the vaccination and now it's like saying it's bad?
well, he's saying that it's not that it's bad that um, he's speaking out against mandates. Like, not
Okay.
everybody needs to have them. Not everybody needs to have the vaccination. Not everybody.
Or in other words, Pfizer and Moderna took my formula and I ain't making a dime out of this shit, so I'm gonna say it's bad. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
No,
Maybe.
leave it up to me to try to find what the fuck is this motherfucker's angle. He didn't get his cut. I don't know. Let me devil's advocate that.
It was a long episode, and I
Yeah,
don't.
I would have to hear it and do more research on this guy. But I was, reading. I briefly read about a guy claiming to have come up with the mRNA and all that shit, and then all of a sudden he's like speaking against it, and I'm like,
Well,
I
it
don't
was
know.
kind of. I know. I didn't take it as he was speaking against it. He was speaking out against the mandate for it,
Well,
like the
that's what the
forcing people.
articles that's what the articles say. They'll clickbait you. They'll put shit, and so
Right.
I haven't read
That's
it.
that Joe wrote with him having this dude on. Like it, Google had to change the algorithms, and the Tim Kennedy, the former UFC fighter, put it up there about what DuckDuckGo when you type in this guy's name, what pops up compared to what pops up when you type it in Google,
Mm-hmm.
and it was pretty crazy.
Oh, I see. Oh,
Like on DuckDuckGo, it popped up as a whole bunch of he's been peer reviewed 12,000 times. He's published like 100 articles in medicine journals,
mm-hmm.
and if you type it in Google, it was just a bunch of opinion based op-eds on what people thought about him. Like it was all opinion based. So
Yeah.
that's all.
Speaking of Google, I came across some shit that they were saying that Google is basically just the CIA's little, I don't know, toy or something that they work close with the CIA. So basically, it's become more of their toy. They control the information. They do what.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, all the government wants is to control the information.
Yeah, because they were.
I mean, look at what they're doing with Julian Assange. You know,
Let's see, WikiLeaks. Okay. Mm,
uh,
I don't know.
well, who released a bunch of information that was free to public, and he just released it, and
at a very crucial time. It's just at the time he released it. I find that funny too. It's like fuck. I don't believe in coincidence anymore. Just like the whole lately, like I said, even religion. That's why this whole article, like if we found out there's aliens, would it mess with your religious beliefs? Lately, I'm like, we haven't discovered alien life as of yet, and I'm already questioning a lot of the shit that we were taught.
right, me
So
too. Like I was just having this conversation with my wife. Like I got a whole lot of questions going on in my head here lately, and I don't know. I'm beginning to wonder what we were taught maybe not be
well,
the entire truth.
it's basically a gospel of submission. Submit to your pastor. Submit to this. Submit to that. Somebody slaps you, turn the other cheek. Then you have to ask yourself, who the fuck's doing all the slapping? You know? I'm like, shit.
Right.
They want you to turn the other cheek. I'm like, no, I don't know. There's something's rotten in Denmark, and I don't know. Old referencer.
I'm right there with you.
But like I said, we're not here to spread fucking conspiracy theories, but we talk about all kinds of shit. I mean, hey, you may agree with us. Especially if you're high as fuck right now, you might be like, hey, them motherfuckers are right on point. Then again, you might be like, oh, fuck you. Kind of like what sometimes when, I did that with Joe Rogan. A lot of the shit that he was talking lately, I was like, I can't listen to this shit. The world's too fucked up, and this just puts me on edge. I don't know.
Yeah, I noticed that with some. In fact, it wasn't up until just recently that I even started watching, quote news again. Or just kind of listening to the things people were saying because I was just over it. I'm done. I don't even want to hear about it anymore.
Yeah.
And with some of the things I heard just here recently, I'm about done with it again.
Well, and that's the problem. We have an overload of information, so it's kind of like people can do shit and hide it in plain sight because okay, well, we'll just pump all this other misinformation
Right.
out there, and who's telling the truth? Who knows?
I don't know. Like one of the things that when we were at Cracker Barrel the other day, I tried to order hash brown casserole because their hash brown casserole is really good.
Hmm.
And they're like, yeah, you can't order it. We can't get shredded potatoes in. And she's like, it's not just a local thing. It's a national thing. No, none of them can make it.
Hmm.
And I'm like, can't get hash brown casserole at Cracker Barrel. This should be a national thing. Like this should be on every news channel. But say la vie, it's not.
Well, they everything gets written off right now with the whatever shipping and shortage of workers and all this, and I mean, hey, shit, my bike's been in the shop since fucking June, and they're having issues getting parts,
Right.
and I'm like,
That is still in the shop?
fuck yeah. So I don't know. I'm probably, I don't know, probably gonna get on the phone with Honda and talk to them and be like, you know what? Even after they put it together, I don't think I trust it anymore. So we're gonna have to figure something out.
Right. Yeah, that's a long